Hi there, Becky here from 168 Fitness. Over the past few weeks we've been talking about how to achieve your health, fitness and weight loss goals between now and the summer holidays. So last week I mentioned that I'm going to be talking in detail about each of the goals that you may have set. So this week we're starting off with fitness goals. So if you set a fitness goal of any kind, then this is the week where you need to be paying attention to find out how to actually get started on achieving those goals. So hopefully last week you came up with some ideas yourself perhaps of how you're going to achieve some of your goals. And for fitness goals, it may include taking out a gym membership, it may have included personal training or starting running. Now running we're going to cover in more detail next week. This week I'm going to talk kind of general fitness goals and hopefully you'll find some useful information to help you achieve your own. So also, as always, please do contact me if you want some specific personal advice to yourself. That's where I can help you the most if you get in touch with me. But this week we're just going to talk generally and mostly for sort of a beginner level and upwards really. But I'm going to focus more on people that are just starting perhaps a new exercise program to help them achieve their fitness goals. So if that's you, then the advice that I want to give you, first of all, we need to think about kind of what you're going to be doing, but also how much, how often, etc. So the first thing I would say, so your fitness goal, you need to know kind of what fitness means to you. So if fitness for you, as most people, it means sort of cardiovascular, like aerobic fitness, so which can be done in running, but it can also be done, fitness can be achieved and measured into like on the trampolines, mini trampolines that we use in the studio. It can be different fitness classes that you do at the gym, it can be running, it can even be walking, using any gym equipment as well, those sort of things. It can even be sort of lifestyle fitness goals, like being able to run up the stairs without getting out of breath, or being able to run around after your grandchildren, or children in fact, without feeling tired and needing to sit down, and having that kind of energy to keep going throughout the day. So if that's sort of your goal, sort of aerobic fitness, then you need to be doing something that will challenge your aerobic fitness now, in order to get that fitness, in order to progress and improve that kind of fitness. So if you are a complete beginner and you're just starting out and you've not been doing anything for perhaps a few months at least, then the advice that I want to give you is to just start off with perhaps 2 sessions this week of something sort of low to moderate intensity. Now it needs to get you slightly out of breath in order to feel the benefits of doing that. Slightly out of breath, but for everyone that's going to be different. For some people, fast walking is going to get them out of breath, and some people you need to be sprinting to get you out of breath. I'm assuming you'll probably be somewhere in the middle, so it would be sort of either a jog or a really fast walk, or using some kind of equipment in the gym, that sort of thing, if you are just starting out. So I want you to do that a couple of times this week. Now, to start off with, anything is a bonus. So if you went and did 5 minutes of fast walking or running, or you went on a static bike, if you've got one of those in the garage perhaps, or even going out on your bicycle whilst the weather's nice in the spring, 5 minutes of some kind of aerobic exercise, something that gets you slightly out of breath, maybe a little bit sweaty as well, especially with the warm weather, that is a bonus. 5 minutes is great. 5 minutes is more than you did last week, I'm assuming. Ideally, I'd want you to be doing it for at least 15 minutes and ideally sort of 30 minutes. So between 15 and 30 minutes for that first time. And as I said, everyone is different, so I don't want you to go flat out. If you're cycling or running or walking or using a stair climber in the gym, or doing a fitness class or anything, don't go flat out in the first few minutes and then end up feeling like you can't keep going, because that's not going to help you. You need to make sure you start off steady. Something I use when I'm talking about running is smile for the first mile. Then that can be translated to any exercise, where for the first sort of 5-10 minutes, you're going to feel probably uncomfortable with it anyway, because you're going from sort of rest to some kind of work, but just take it easy, be comfortable, make sure you can still hold a conversation. It shouldn't be a flat out sprint or working 100% effort within those first few minutes, because you need to warm up, you need to just ease yourself in gradually, especially if you haven't done any sort of exercise in the past few months. Then just start off nice and steady, okay? And that's no matter what level you're at. When I go out for a run anytime, and obviously I've been running for a long time now, if I go out for a run, those first 5 to 10 minutes, that first mile is always my slowest. It's my steadiest time where I'm just warming up, I'm just easing in gradually, and then I can get quicker as the run goes on, as I get more warmed up, and I know that I'm finishing soon and I can perhaps sprint at the end. Don't always do that, but I can do if I want to. So that's the advice of how long to go for. So ideally aiming for that 15 minutes of continuous sort of aerobic exercise, something keeping your heart rate up, keeping you slightly out of breath for the whole time, and aiming for that 30 minutes goal if you can. But 15 to 30 minutes is a great amount to be doing, especially on your first time. And then I want you to do that twice this week, as I said. That's a good amount to do because it's 2 more sessions than you did last week. Space them out if you can. Try not to go 2 consecutive days just whilst you're starting out. You need a bit of recovery time. Let the muscles and let your body and mind recover from what you've just done. So maybe if you go today or tomorrow, and then once again at the weekend, that would be a good amount to do. But also if your week's starting on a Wednesday, you have got a little bit extra time to do that before the second week starts. So we've talked about how often, how much, what you're going to be doing. Just think about what you've got available to you. If the weather's good and you've got nice outdoor sort of areas, then getting outside, walking, running would be good. If you've got gym membership, using that. But think about how you want to be able to measure it. If it is running that you want to be able to do, as I said, next week we're going to cover that in a bit more detail. If you want to be able to run, then start with running. There's no point, or start with some fast walking at least, but there's no point doing sort of cycling to get better at running, really. Like, it doesn't, I'm not saying it won't help you, but you need to kind of think specifically about your goals. So just as I said, main thing, start out, do at least 5 minutes, because I'm sure everyone can do at least 5 minutes of walking, but try and do something that gets you out of breath for at least 15 to 30 minutes, and aim to do that twice. And that's going to give you the first step, first week into achieving your fitness goals. And then just to give you a few sort of homework points, once you've done that for a couple of weeks, or maybe 3 weeks, because the main thing here is to keep it sustainable. I don't want you, and I never do say this to clients either, I never say you need to do every day or 5-6 days a week, because the chances are you might keep that up for 2 to 3 weeks, maybe even a little bit longer when you're in the zone and you're focused and you're motivated. But as soon as you get a little bit busier, perhaps you go on holiday, maybe you don't feel well, or you get injured because you're doing too much, a bit too much of a shock to the system, then you're probably going to give up and not do that. It's going to become too overwhelming. You might get bored of what you're doing, just fed up with it, can't cope, and just give up completely. So you go from doing sort of every day, really, which is kind of really good, like, because you burn lots of calories and working your muscles as you need to achieve your fitness goals. But then you go from doing all of that to doing nothing, and then not achieving your goals at all, okay? So we need to think about sustainability. So once you've done sort of the 2 sessions a week, built up to doing 30 minutes on each of those 2 sessions a week. So you might start with 15 minutes, then second week do 20 minutes on each of those 2 sessions, and then 25, and then maybe 30 minutes by the sort of 3rd or 4th week. Once you've got to 2 times 30 minutes, that's when you can look to add on a 3rd session. Now, 3 sessions a week is a great amount to do to really feel the benefits of exercise, improving your fitness levels, feeling good sort of throughout the week, because you can space those out. And then aiming to sustain that 3 times a week for 30 minutes, doing some kind of aerobic exercise that gets your heart rate up. You could also include some weights if you want to do, like if you've ever done body pump sort of classes, they will get you out of breath as well. I'm not saying it has to be sort of just cardio exercise. Anything that gets you out of breath, the PT sessions we do here, I aim to get the clients' heart rates up and get them slightly out of breath and sweaty, even when we're not doing sort of cardio running or burpees or jumping jacks, those sort of things. When they're lifting weights, when they're doing sort of resistance and conditioning exercises, they will still be working their aerobic system and also getting fitter as well. So anything that gets your heart rate up, slightly out of breath, aiming to do that by sort of week 4, 5, 6 onwards, looking to do 3 sessions of 30 minutes each time and sustaining that for the next sort of, what are we on, 9 to 10 weeks, maybe a bit less than that, up till summer anyway, to really feel the benefits of doing the exercise and really feeling improvements in your fitness levels. I'm sure you'll feel them from the first couple of weeks. They're always the most exciting times because you really start to feel the benefits, but keeping it going, that's the main thing. Being consistent, keeping with 2 to 3 sessions every week, 30 minutes each time, building up to that at least, and sustaining that up until summer. Then you might want to give yourself a week off when you go on holiday, if you go on holiday, and then getting back into it straight away afterwards, in order to keep progressing with those fitness goals. So I've talked about fitness goals this week. Next week, more specifically, I'm going to be talking about running goals, and then in the future weeks we'll be talking about other goals that you may have set before the summer holidays. Hopefully you'll be taking on my advice. If you've got any questions, please do get in touch. Always happy to help, and I'll see you next week.